subject for another video. But I wanted to understand why they remain hostile to Iran in the last century and even today. He gave me three reasons why they are hostile to Iran and why they view Iran as a permanent threat to them. According to him, the first reason is that Iran has, for the last 47 years, been threatening the GCC nations with through its proxies that it will export revolution to their nations. So this revolution, the Iranian revolution of 1979, has been a big shock to these nations because these nations are monarchies, because there is no democracy, of course, because the people are not empowered. So they worry that the Iran will inspire their people to stand up against their monarchies. So the first threat is the export of revolution to these countries. The second reason why Iran is viewed as a threat, according to the Arab analyst, is that Iran is in occupation of three islands, UAE islands: Abu Musa, Greater Tun, and Lesser Tun. The third reason is Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile program is viewed as a threat to this region. Now, I asked this analyst that why Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile program is seen as a threat to the region and not Israel's nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities. So his first response was that Israel's nuclear program is not in the public domain. So it is suggested that Israel has a nuclear program, but we don't know about it. And thereafter he said Israel is 2,000 kilometers away from UAE. So this threat is a distant threat. Iran is a real and present danger because it's a next door neighbor. When I asked about the territorial dispute with Iran, and I referred to Rouhani's proposal, he said nobody trusts Iran. They watch what Iran does, and Iran's conduct has always been suspicious. When I tried to ask him a follow-on question on this and ask him why its conduct has been suspect, what measures or what means of aggression has Iran displayed in the last 47 years, he did not like that, and he said, you want to have an argument with me? So obviously I didn't want to have an argument, and that was the end of the matter. So basically, Iran is a present danger. It's a living in present danger for the GCC nations only because of its existence, because of its hard and soft power, which the GCC nations are unable to compete with. Now, as far as the hard power is concerned, the interesting bit is that they actually do not want to compete with it also. They do not want to build up their military capability to face Iran. Saudi Arabia, as everybody knows, it's in public domain, is the biggest importer of military hardware. It has one of the most modern state-of-the-art military equipment, but it doesn't have a strong military force. It doesn't have an strong army. And the reason for that is because these nations, they fear their own people. And they fear if they have a powerful army, then the army, in collusion with the people, may lead to a popular uprising and may lead to a popular coup. The source of this fear is a similar coup which happened in Iran in the early 1950s, where the dynasty, the monarchy, was overthrown by the people with the support of the armed forces, and a popular leader, Mohammad Mossadegh, was brought to power as prime minister. So that was the first time there was a coup which actually brought a democratic leader to power, overthrowing the monarchy, and not a military dictator. So this is something which they worry about. Thereafter, in 1979, anyway, the Mossadegh regime was overthrown by the British and US collusion in 1953, and the monarchy was brought back. This monarchy was overthrown in 1979 by the Islamic Revolution. And so this is a second evidence of what happens when people rise up against their rulers, and the armed forces, strong armed forces, either support them or just step back and let the people do what they want to do. So 1979 Islamic Revolution is another threat in being for them. More recently, in 2010, there was Arab Spring, which is a term used for popular protests across the Arabian nations, from Egypt to Bahrain, and a few other nations. So this is another thing, and there were some stirrings of it in Saudi Arabia also, which was brutally crushed. So all of this makes them wary of a strong military power. So they prefer to outsource their security to an outside power, and in this case, the United States. This not only keeps them safe, this keeps Iran under check. And if the United States continues with its sanctions against Iran, then Iran's potential to pose a threat to these nations will no longer be there. And then Iran will not be able to emerge as a major power in this region, creating the space for Saudi Arabia to remain the foremost power in this region on the back of United States. Now, this is reductionist thinking. This sort of a reductionist thinking belongs to the past. It will have no place in the new world which is emerging in West Asia as a consequence of this war. It is evident to anybody who actually can see that Iran is emerging as a major power in West Asia with the support of Russia and China. America is in a very bad state, and it is looking for a quick and easy getaway from this war, and eventually it will have to substantially reduce its presence in this region. That will leave Iran as a major power and the GCC nations scrambling for external support to hold on their threat from Iran, which has made it very clear that it actually poses no threat to them. In this new world, most probably, Iran's model of collective security, backed by China and Russia, will be the guiding principle, and all nations will eventually have to accept this. So the sooner they accept this reality, less painful their transition to the new world will be. On that note, maybe all live in better times. Thank you so much.